The GRU's shadow war against NATO wasn't limited to cyber attacks and disinformation. When traditional sabotage wasn't enough, they turned to direct physical operations, deploying covert operatives to sabotage military infrastructure across Eastern Europe. From weapons depots to fuel lines and railway networks, the GRU had one mission: cripple NATO's supply chains and delay military movements. One of the most alarming cases came in 2014, when an explosion ripped through a weapons depot in the Czech Republic. At first, it was dismissed as an accident. But years later, intelligence agencies uncovered a far more sinister truth. This was a GRU sabotage operation, carried out by Unit 29155, the same elite team behind assassinations and destabilization campaigns across Europe. The GRU operatives responsible for the attack had entered the Czech Republic using false identities, posing as arms buyers. Their target was a depot storing munitions destined for Ukraine, which was desperately fighting off Russian-backed separatists in Donbas. The explosion killed 2 people, destroyed thousands of rounds of ammunition, and delayed crucial arms shipments to Kyiv. It was the first major act of GRU sabotage on NATO soil, but it wouldn't be the last. By 2017, NATO intelligence agencies began noticing a pattern of unexplained infrastructure failures across Eastern Europe. Railway lines carrying US and European tanks to military exercises suddenly malfunctioned. Fuel depots mysteriously caught fire. Key bridges and tunnels experienced unexpected closures due to technical issues. The disruptions weren't random. They were concentrated in Poland, the Baltic states, and Romania, countries that played a critical role in NATO's logistics. In Lithuania, NATO officials discovered that fiber optic communication cables linking military bases had been deliberately cut, disrupting secure channels between command centers. Meanwhile, in Germany and Poland, intelligence agencies detected GRU operatives conducting surveillance on key logistics hubs, mapping out the movement of US and Allied forces. It was clear Russia was preparing for a potential conflict by ensuring that NATO's reinforcements could be delayed or derailed before they even reached the battlefield. One of the most daring GRU operations occurred in Bulgaria, where an arms factory connected to Ukrainian military supplies was set on fire under highly suspicious circumstances. Investigators later found evidence suggesting that Russian intelligence operatives had tampered with key safety systems, causing the catastrophic blaze. The factory was one of the main suppliers of Soviet-era ammunition, exactly what Ukraine needed to keep fighting Russia's proxies. As NATO scrambled to counter these threats, the GRU escalated their tactics, deploying sleeper agents disguised as diplomats and businessmen. These operatives attempted to recruit local informants within military supply chains, bribing workers at ports, railway stations, and fuel depots to provide inside information on troop movements and logistics. Some were caught, but many others slipped through the cracks. By the early 2020s, NATO had begun fortifying its logistics routes, increasing security at key transit points, and monitoring known GRU operatives. Yet, the damage had already been done. Years of Russian sabotage had exposed NATO's vulnerabilities, proving that even the most advanced military alliance in the world could be weakened without a single shot being fired. The GRU's sabotage campaign against NATO's infrastructure was a chilling preview of modern warfare, one where the battlefield wasn't just the front lines but railroads, fuel stations, and communication networks. By the time a war officially began, the GRU wanted to ensure that NATO's forces were already at a disadvantage, their supply chains crippled, and their reinforcements stuck in logistical chaos. The attacks were not just about disrupting military operations, they were a strategic message. Russia was watching. Russia was preparing. And if war ever broke out, the GRU had already laid the groundwork for NATO's greatest vulnerability. The fight before the fight had even begun.